So far in this web series, we have talked about the happiness sum and different shades of the mood. If you haven't gone through chapters 1 and 2, I invite you to go back and take a look at them. In this series, remember exploration is more important than information, and exploration begins at step 1. Now, in this video, we're going to attempt at the hard task of talking about existence. There are very many different logics and sciences which exist to explain the different viewpoints. In fact, the word logic reminds me of the book called Logicomics, which is a graphic novel on the life of Bertrand Russell and his pursuit of mathematical truth. I highly recommend you to read through it. Now, coming to existence and dharma. In context of existence, we are interested in how do we come about and what is it composed of. Dharma is a Sanskrit word which means rootedness, characteristics, or properties of anything. Comes from the root word dhar, which is what is something based on or rooted on. Now you will see the literary meaning of word dharma is very different from the religious sense. In fact, in the religious realm, it has been used for a very different purpose. But in literary way, it doesn't have any good or bad or morality attached to it. It's just about what is something rooted on, what are the properties and characteristics. How we come into existence. Now there are many stories of existence. There is the story of world being created in 7 days. There is the Sanatan story. But if we keep the religious stories aside and look at the scientific story, then it goes in this way. First, there existed space. Some energy got created in the vastness of space, which condensed into matter. At some point, some life in the form of unicellular organisms comes about. These unicellular organisms evolve to become multicellular plants and animals, and within animals comes about the human being. Now, we might not like to call ourselves a beast, so okay, we create a separate section for humans. But now, the important thing to observe in this is that even though we are human being, we still have the other existential constituents within us. We still have the animal inside us, the life inside us, the matter, the energy, and the space. And each of them have their own dharma. Forgetting that we have these within us is a cause of great psychological suffering. If we could carry the dharma of each of them within us, it will bring a lot of harmony. So we're going to talk about the different dharma of each of the constituents. In this web series, we are mostly focused on the dharma of life. Life meaning bio, and hence the bio happiness. But before we jump into that, let's still take a look at dharma of each of the constituents. And are we situated in them? There can also be conflict between the dharma of each of the constituents. There is a word called dharma sankat, which means conflict of dharmas coming together. This might help us understand also the roots of many of our cravings and desire. Let's begin with the first constituent, space. Everything exists within space. Space is everywhere and everything is within that. Space can also be thought of as nothingness or emptiness. So much so that even for matter, even if we look within an atom, 99.999 to 7 decimal places is empty space. So we are mostly emptiness existing in an empty space. Psychologically also we feel a lot of emptiness and we crave to fulfill it. Through money, power, relationships, we want to fill it. But it doesn't happen because those things have their own emptiness, and we end up trying to fill emptiness with more emptiness. Emptiness or nothingness is the main dharma of space. There is another one, which is wholeness or non divisiveness. We are violating the dharma of space every time we create nations, religions, organizations, any other kind of divisions. In fact, even when you're buying or creating something, we are creating separation and divisions. So we need to remember that emptiness is the wholeness. There is no point filling it. What is required is to only remove the separation. Now, I don't want to fill you with a lot of words about space. That would violate the Dharma. So let's stop this video right here and we come back in the next episode.